Look around you for a moment. The room you're in, the screen you're watching, the sounds around you, even your own thoughts all feel solid, real, unquestionable. But what if they aren't exactly what they seem? What if reality itself is more like a system running quietly in the background, and none of us are aware of it? This idea might sound like science fiction, but it's one of the most unsettling questions modern scientists and philosophers are seriously asking today, and it's known as the simulation theory. The simulation theory suggests that our entire universe, including space, time, matter, and even consciousness, could be an artificial simulation created by an advanced intelligence. Not in a movie-like way with glowing code falling from the sky, but in a way so seamless, so convincing, that life feels completely natural from the inside. And the truly disturbing part is this. Some scientists believe this theory is not only possible, but statistically likely. To understand why this idea is taken seriously, we need to talk about technology and how fast it's advancing. Just a few decades ago, video games were simple dots moving across a screen. Today, we have hyper-realistic graphics, virtual reality worlds, artificial intelligence that can talk, learn, create art, and even imitate human behavior. If technology keeps improving at this rate, it's not unreasonable to imagine a future civilization capable of creating fully immersive simulated worlds, complete with conscious beings who don't realize they're inside a simulation. Now here's where it starts to get unsettling. If it's possible for advanced civilizations to run simulations of entire universes, then statistically speaking, there could be millions or billions of simulated realities for every one real, base reality. That means the odds of us living in the original universe might be extremely low. In simple terms, if simulations are possible, it's more likely that we're inside one than not. This is one of the core arguments that makes scientists deeply uncomfortable, but the fear doesn't come only from probability. It comes from the strange ways our universe behaves at its most fundamental level. When physicists study reality at very small scales, things stop behaving normally. Particles exist in multiple states at once. Reality seems to decide outcomes only when observed. Space and time appear to be quantized, like pixels on a screen. To some researchers, this doesn't feel like a smooth, natural universe. It feels optimized, almost like a system designed to conserve resources. Some scientists have even pointed out that the universe has a maximum speed limit, the speed of light, much like a bandwidth limit in a computer system. Information can only travel so fast, there are limits to how much data reality can process. When you zoom in far enough, the universe breaks down into discrete units, not infinite detail. To people who think deeply about computation, this looks suspiciously similar to how simulations work. Then there's the question of consciousness. No one fully understands why we're aware, why we experience thoughts, emotions, and a sense of self. Some researchers wonder if consciousness itself could be an interface, like a user experience layer, designed to help us function inside the system without understanding what's underneath. You don't need to understand code to use a smartphone. In the same way, maybe we don't need to understand reality to exist inside it. What truly terrifies scientists isn't just the idea that we might be simulated, but the implications if that's true. If we are inside a simulation, then the laws of physics might not be ultimate truths. They could be rules written by something else. That means reality is not fundamental, it's dependent. And if the system has limits, bugs, or goals we don't understand, our existence could be far more fragile than we realize. There's also the unsettling question of purpose. Why would anyone simulate an entire universe? Some possibilities are scientific research, historical reconstruction, entertainment, or something completely beyond human understanding. We might be a tiny experiment running in the background of an advanced civilization's computer. Or worse, we might be irrelevant, just background data in a system that could be shut down at any moment without us ever knowing why. Some scientists have even speculated about what would happen if the simulation ended. Would time simply stop? Would reality fade out? Would we even be aware of it? If the system powering our universe were turned off, there would be no warning, no explanation, no final moment of understanding. Everything would simply cease. Others wonder whether it's possible to detect signs of the simulation. Could glitches exist? Are unexplained anomalies in physics like rounding errors? Is randomness truly random, or is it pseudo-random, like computer-generated numbers? So far, no definitive evidence has been found, But the fact that scientists are even asking these questions shows how deeply unsettling the theory is. What makes the simulation theory especially disturbing is that it can't be easily disproven. Any evidence we find would still exist inside the simulation itself. Even if we discovered code like structures in reality, that discovery would still be part of the system. There may be no way to step outside and check. We could be trapped inside a perfectly convincing illusion with no exit and no confirmation. And yet, despite how terrifying this idea sounds, some thinkers find it oddly comforting. If reality is simulated, then the universe might not be cold or meaningless, it might be intentionally created. Existence itself could be a designed experience. But whether that intention is benevolent, neutral, or indifferent is something we may never know. At the end of the day, the simulation theory forces us to confront one of the most uncomfortable possibilities imaginable. That reality is not what we think it is, that certainty itself may be an illusion, and that our deepest assumptions about existence could be wrong. Scientists aren't afraid because the idea is silly, they're afraid because it fits too well with what we already know, and because it raises questions with no clear answers. So the next time you look around and feel certain that this world is real, remember that certainty has been challenged before. And it may be challenged again. Because if the simulation theory is true, then the most terrifying thing isn't that we're being watched or controlled, it's that we may never know what's truly real, or who, if anyone, is on the other side of the screen.